Welcome to Eli Golds's Relationship Flow. I apologize for the fact that we are a week off schedule. It's been so busy with, thank God, we're making a wedding this week, and this Shabbos we'll be making a bar mitzvah, please God, and Kiddush, and the following week is the actual bar mitzvah party and getting the tefillin and all the other amazing things that go together with Simcha and his Sheva brachas. It's a very busy next few weeks leading up to Chanukah. The unfortunate part being that, we can't all be together with everybody as we'd like. As everyone knows, the Corona challenge is having its effect. But thank God there is the opportunity to do virtual online experiences through Zoom, YouTube, live feed, all the good stuff that we're doing with our monitor as well, which is also keeping me busy because this week I have, thank God, a visit from Toronto. We're going to be with the community there for the next 2 days, having meetings, doing classes, and that's all from our Jerusalem studio, which is exciting, a good way of pivoting and taking the challenge of Corona and using it to still bring joy to people, especially as we make our own personal Simchas, and people can join in that way as well through the YouTube live feed that we're setting up, and hopefully a Zoom chat as well for people who want to speak to everyone and be exciting. Just shows you the kind of flow that we're in, and therefore that's a very good, sensible reason why we're delayed today. So thank you for bearing with me. I would like to remind everyone that this relationship flow has been talking about intimacy, that we had 5 parts in that, and I do plan on returning to that topic in another few weeks when things calm down, maybe Chanukah time, start again with the intimacy, go to part 6, 7, etc. I think it's something which is a key topic of conversation with our relationship flow. We began that way, and I think we should continue that way. But just for this week, since it's a more busy time, I wanted to discuss what's closest to my heart, which is all the busy things going on, and being able to transition to a more of an online experience, to still have that relationship experience with the family and friends, making sure that, you're contacting them and keeping people updated, including obviously the most important people, the soulmate, the family, the closest ones, the children, the parents, the grandparents. These are the people that count most, remembering family first and priorities, who to be in contact with and keep updated with all the different changes and times and of being able to talk with people, and when you're there with the people. Once again, we've spoken so many times about being focused and being present. So this is a big part of our relationship flow, especially during the busier times. We have to always be thankful, of course, that's a big part. Just appreciate everybody's kindness, involvement, whatever kindness is offered, and whatever isn't, just to let go and go with the flow. Whoever was meant to be part of the Simcha or part of the special time was meritorious, and whoever wasn't, that was part of what was meant to be, and you go with that experience and don't hold grudges or waste your time feeling bitter. Suddenly someone yesterday, we weren't able to be at the Ufra for whatever reason on the Shabbos, so the Baruch Hashem, we're very happy the Chosin had a very beautiful Ufra with his friends and family in Beit Shemesh. Someone came up to me, of all the other people with Mazel Tov, give him a Shabbat, but a supposed, important person in the area where I live came up to me and said, he said Mazel Tov, but then he said it's not a good sign at all. In fact, he used worse words than that, but I like to keep my language clean, so I was very unimpressed with this person, and I wanted to say something back, but it was amongst a lot of people and I don't want to make a whole scene, so I just let it go. I was hoping to see that person again this morning, just to bring it up and say, you should only give blessing to people and have a good eye, and especially when you're such an important person like yourself. But I wasn't able to do that, so I'm just gonna let it go until I merit the right moment to speak with him. I'm not gonna go knock on his door, even though he's close to me, and in terms of distance, and I'm not gonna go chase him. But when it will come, but it won't be me creating a scene or embarrassing him or fighting, or it will be done in a polite way, just because it does need to be said on some level, that you can't say something to someone until you know the full story, or if you are going to say something, it should only be encouraging and positive. That's the kind of flow that we have in our relationship flow, And that would take it back into marriage. Like, for example, we've been posting Gedalia Fence's classes. He all the time says don't take things personally, and that goes even more so in your personal relationships when people say stuff like my wife or my children or even parents, grandparents, not to take it personally, because often it's coming from a place of stress or misunderstanding, or with that person maybe he has some sort of issue, but with many other people it could be just a miscommunication, and just it's just a matter of letting go and learning how to go with the flow, and once again focus on your priorities, which is to have positive relationships and obviously to have boundaries as well, but within those boundaries to have room for judging positively and giving space for people to vent, and including ourselves. We all have to have those moments to let off steam, especially when it's a time of Simcha. Thank God, a busy time, there's going to be a bit more stress, a bit more emotions, a bit more triggers. And thank God, these are a time of Simcha, of joy, but at that time there usually comes, unfortunately, the other side as well, to try and mix it up, and a person has to be very focused on what the priorities are and not all the frills. And that's something I'm giving encouragement to my wife and I, that we've been very focused on the main Simcha, the main joy, whatever is going to take place with the family and with the the bride and the groom, and to be really tuned in to the inner point of it, and not to insist on it being a certain way. And that's the kind of focus we've been having during this build up to a wedding and a bar mitzvah. And we'd love if people would send their Mazel Tov. They can send it. We'll put the email below, and if anyone wants to contact for any gifts or anything, if it's something for a new family beginning, is always a challenge, to be able to afford their apartment in Jerusalem and to be able to go ahead. They need to be in a more central place for work and for schooling, and so anyone who wants to help, obviously the financial way is always the best, so they can choose what to do with it. But once again, that's up to people's kindness who's listening and who has the heart and ability to do that. But even just a Mazel Tov is amazing, and we'll put that in the link below, the notes, description, however you want to call it. So the podcast flow today, really the focus is dealing with when you're having transitions, like we're saying with the Corona Challenge, and making big transitions in life, to keeping that focus on what is important, what is it all about, why are you making Simchas, what are family steps, what is the point of building family homes, what are you doing it for? So if you remember, you're doing it for as we've spoken in our United Souls podcast, for the larger picture, for the soul connection, for the tuning into what's values, what's goals, what's really important in life, the meaning of life, and that's your mindset. That's the kind of driving force. So then, when these more smaller things come up, like I said, like someone being a bit insulting, or schedule issues, or for example, a larger thing like this Corona Challenge, where people can't physically be there. So then you have the priorities in place to then adjust what you need to do and how to deal with that, slight bump in the road or seemingly challenging moment. Then it becomes an opportunity for real, growth and real focus, to apply your values, to apply your goals, to apply what life's about, and to really pull off a time period during, as man of Simcha, a time of joy, in a joyous way. You enjoy it. You enjoy the experience of being with people who are able to make it, and enjoy seeing your family growing and they're taking the next steps in their life. You give them blessing that they should build a beautiful home. And, for example, bar mitzvah, he's now transitioning from being a boy to a man, and these kind of, big steps, and he takes on the responsibility of becoming more of an adult. And same with my daughter becoming an adult, and all these other aspects, whatever stage it is for your children, if you're having a baby or if you're getting married, whatever it is, you're taking on that next level step of responsibility. And responsibility is really like a giant step forward in growth, because you're manifesting all your values and your goals that we've spoken about, of making this world a dwelling place for spirituality and goodness and godliness, and that kind of unification that takes place with all these simchas, with all these, like when the chassan puts the ring on the collar, when he puts the groom on the bride's finger, the ring, there's a giant unification taking place. Obviously, when they connect, as we've spoken about in our intimacy flow, and all the different aspects that we've been discussing here, there's such massive unification celebrations taking place under the chuppah with the Simchas and Kala, when we're dancing, and all the different aspects, the blessings we make. There's 7 of them, and that goes into 7 days. And then there's the bar mitzvah aspect, the unification when the young boy now puts tefillin on his head for the first time, which I'm going to be doing today, funny enough, and he puts his mind and heart and is miyached, and he's making a unification with his whole inner essence to tune into spirituality, to bring down a Shefa Kodesh, like a holy divine abundance into his being, into his life, into this world, and undoing a lot of the negative energy that exists in the world that we hear about so much on the media, that we're now heading in the other direction towards positivity and transforming this darkness into light. And that's a very big part, like we're getting ready for Chanukah, we're going to be having Chanukah soon, but making all these simchas, making all this a big part of the chinuch, of the education of our family, that giving them again what is priority, what is important, that the money you're using is for mitzvahs like Simchas, Chas and Kala, and for be able to help your child have tefillin and nice clothes, and to feel good about themselves, and to give them that love and support so they can grow up to be adults and do the same for their children and the children's children, and you're building generations of healthy, happy, empowered people. This is like the relationship flow that really empowers and changes the whole world, especially within your own sphere of influence, but it has a universal effect on everything and everybody who sees it or feels it, or even on a spiritual level, where there's unifications going on in the whole world and the universe and all the different worlds above that take place at these special moments, and to be able to allow your mind and heart and soul to be in that place of godless, of greatness. And for example, hosting a whole community in Toronto, having the opportunity to do that in the same week and be able to influence them in a positive way. And same with Simchas, people have been watching him globally from the families and friends, and be able to see the kind of Simchas Chos and Kala that we're busy with. And this is the kind of mindset that we're trying to build within all our podcasts and everything we're doing. So I just want to thank you again for tuning in, and wishing everyone only simchas, only good news, good health. And once again, you have the links below how to be part of it. And Simcha and Journey, Mazel Tov, Chol Yisrael. Everyone should be blessed with beautiful, joyous occasions with their family and loved ones, and we should be able to see the ultimate simcha of Mashiach Sekeno. I'm right 5 minutes from the base of Mingdish. From the window I'm looking out of right now, it's literally a 5-10 minute walk just in the holiest place on earth, to see that final simcha take place where everyone in the world can unify together. And that's one of the prayers we say under the chuppah, the Imish Kachek Yushalayim. We shouldn't forget Yushalayim, it's a holy place, and we should see that final simcha come together so that the whole world can be part of one giant simcha, and all these smaller things and larger things that are holding us back, like corona and insults, should go away, and we should have only good times. Amen.